Hi, and welcome back to the history of fan anime. And I'm your host, William Chow. And today's episode is another fun episode that I always like to do, and that's the type of show and tell type of episode where I bring out some things out of archive and tell you some of the history and the story behind some of the items here. And in today's episode, I'm going to go over the San Diego Comic Con 2004. So, well, you know that at this time, going to comic conventions, especially the big ones like Comic Con in San Diego. It was a great place to get a mixture of mixed culture, mixed media, mixed genre. Okay, anime at this time has grown large enough that it's bled into a lot of other markets in the comics and into sci-fi and all that kind of stuff. So everyone wants to try to get in on the bandwagon. This is sort of when anime is increasing and getting up and getting to almost shall we say critical mass. Because when you get too many people trying to jump onto the bandwagon, you get market over flooding, oversaturation. Okay, and so 2004 was that time. Was just before that. As I said, everyone was really talking and getting into this thing called anime. So. Basically I pulled a couple items that I got out of San Diego Comic Con that year, and basically show you and tell you some of the funny stories that happened in that year. Okay, so I'm not going to get really too much into the logistics of the San Diego Comic Con. I'll save that for another episode. But suffice to say that Comic Con in San Diego. Is by far one of the biggest comic convention multimedia events that occurs every year. Okay, this thing is just massively huge. It literally takes over the entire downtown core of San Diego when it happens, and all the hotels are all filled. There's stuff going on everywhere. The convention center itself is just massively huge. Again, I'll get into that in another episode because I've got pictures and that kind of stuff, and just to help map out. How large and just try to get your mind around how large this thing is, okay? And of course, it's changed over time, but I mean, different things are going on and different focuses are happening, okay? But this year, one of the featured artists that showed up at Comic Con is Ki Azumiya, okay? Now you may know him. What's an example here? And again, the part of the reason why he was here is because again, there's a lot of this cross media promotion and stuff going on, right? So anime was bleeding into all these other type of fields, including comics, right? So what has happened in this particular year in 2004 is he is better known for things like Compiler, Silent Mobius, and things like that, of course, but he did a whole bunch of other mangas and things that basically caught the eye of the comic book market, okay? And one of the things that he did was this one here, okay? He did the workings of this particular copy of X-Men, okay? The Uncanny X-Men for Marvel, okay? And so basically he features his work in this particular issue, okay? So that's one of the cross promotion things he did. Another one that he did is for DC. He drew this graphic novel for Batman. Okay, one of the untold stories for Batman. And this is again features his sort of manga art style thing for DC Comics in the Batman storyline. Okay, so that's what so he was here, And he made him, and what I really liked, and unfortunately probably never happens anymore in the modern convention era, but he was very, very accessible. Okay, not only did he have autograph signing times for when he was with DC, he had autograph signing times when he was with Marvel. He also brought on a lot of his own kind of stuff because at this time he has a lot of anime stuff is coming out. He had like kits and figurines also coming out. So he was around and he was available. If you came up with him, you were you could ask him questions, and you can even get things like autographs and things signed from him. Okay, one of these things that you can buy, okay, is what for these things here. They're called autograph boards or lamy boards, okay. And basically, it's a kind of a stiff piece of cardboard, okay, and it's got and on one side it's the stiffer sort of cardboard backing, and on the front side is a sort of a clear sheet of art paper with a sort of gold lining along the edge there, okay. And so basically, I got a couple of these things, and I basically met him up twice to get these art picture done from him. Okay, so this is a picture of plasma from Compiler, which Kiyazumiya sat down and drew the sketch for me on one of the opportunities that I had to meet up with him. Okay, I have another artboard. Okay, this one here. Okay, this one is the character Lebia from Compiler. Okay, now what was really funny is that I had Victor with me, right? And he was next after me. And he gave him a sheet for him to draw, and he asked him, what did you want me to draw, kind of thing, what would you like to draw? And Victor answered interpreter. Okay, and then of course interpreter is one of the characters in Compiler, right? It's compiler, assembler, interpreter, right? And he stopped for a moment because he thought he meant he needs an interpreter to help him translate what was what he wanted to say, right? Not realizing, oh, wait a minute, interpreter is a character in Compiler. Okay, so he wants him to draw interpreter. So he basically clicked on after a few seconds there and started drawing his picture. So that was rather kind of a funny, interesting point there. That was really good there. Okay. I have some more other stuff that I have from him. I'll put that into another episode because it's a little bit more bulkier. But yeah, so that's some of the anime stuff that I picked up at the Comic-Con. Okay. Another really big feature thing which I did is one of my anime friends, who I'm going to call Lancer. Okay. He basically, is one of my friends that came part of the animation club, and I've had him over several times. I remember he's a really good, clean artist because I remember we were sitting around, just fooling around, and we were photoshopping, like Animedia and New Type magazines, because he really was a big fan of Tenchi Muyo. And so anyway, I met up with him down at the San Diego Comic-Con. And him and his sort of comic book group of friends, he told me that I'm with a group called Udon, okay. And at this time, Udon and their art group, shall we say, they were creating a series of comics for Street Fighter, okay. So they were doing Street Fighter, Darkstalkers, and Rival Schools, okay. And this sort of art group, okay. We're basically doing a whole bunch of different like comics in that that sort of art style and that sort of story, okay. And so the promo thing that they were doing at their table is they're promoting their comic, okay, whatever. And basically, it has different sort of storylines and that samples of these things that they're working on: Street Fighter, Darkstalkers, and Rival Schools. Okay, but the back page is empty. Okay, and the idea is that if you went up and you bought this comic from them, okay, their page is blank on the back, and then they had all the artists, various artists sitting at their table, and you can give the comic to them. And then they can, sketch a character or whatever that you like on the back of the comic, and then then they sign it, right? So this is one of the ones of my all the characters I like to play, and that's Guy, and so that's the sketch I got I got from basically the Udon table to draw there, okay, and then basically went back into line again. And got and basically lined up again. Got another one of the comics done up again, and then this one, all right, I had a copy of Felicia done. Okay, and there you go. There's a kind of sort of cat girl thing done up there. Okay, so yeah, that's another one of these fun sort of things that I did when you're in San Diego Comic-Con. Okay, now as you all know, or maybe don't, Comic-Con is not just about anime, or it's not just about comics. Okay, it's about popular culture, popular movies, and things like that. So a lot of people will show up at these things, and they give you the opportunity to see them, meet them, ask them questions, get autographs, and that kind of stuff. And there are people that you probably wouldn't even you didn't even know that they were going to be there unless you kind of showed up, and then you look at the board of predominant people that are going to be there, and then you go, hey, yeah, I know who that guy is, and then you can go over there and do that. So it's always good in a place as big as the San Diego Comic-Con, because usually in a small convention, you usually only get like a handful of different people. Heck, even at our local fan con that we usually have here, you have let's say just the cast of let's say Arrow or something showing up this con. So you got a bunch of a handful of different people, and then a whole bunch of these side characters and that kind of stuff. A big handful of them there. Okay, whereas in Comic-Con is so large. Okay, you can cover so many different genres and so many different things. As I commented it in an earlier episode that I did, I bought my DVD box set for Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and and in one table I was able to hit basically 8 of the people that are in Buffy, just one after another, bang 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 bang, and basically got them to sign my DVD cover all in a row like that. And that was just one booth. I mean, I can go to another booth and then get Stargate SG-1 and go to another booth and get try to find some of the Star Trek guys, and of course the someone from Star Wars is usually always in these things as well. So, but some of the things I picked up is this thing here. Okay, again, sort of related to comics. Okay, I picked up this thing from Dean Haglund. Okay, he's one of the
I'm
big
Bruce Harwood. I play Bias.
I'm Dean Haglund. I play Langley.
I'm John Braidwood. I play Philip.
And we're the lone gunman.
Gunman, right? And so I got him to go. So he basically has this comic right here, okay, called the Two-Fisted Tales, right? And basically, so I bought a copy of his comic and the photo thing there, so he can sign it. And there, right there, to William, the gunman dude, okay, Dean Haglund, okay, for the X-Files, okay. So that's one of the things that I saw and met him with, okay. Another famous actor that I also ran into at the San Diego Comic-Con was Mark Singer, okay. And, some of you people know him as the Beastmaster and whatnot, but the particular photo that I got from him was the one from V, because he plays the character Donovan from this miniseries V. So I basically got this photograph from him, and I got him to basically sign it for me there. So I got his autograph when I met him at the con there. All right. Now, one of my most favorite series that I've always liked as a child was the original Battlestar Galactica. So I'm not talking like the one where it has all the female characters and that kind of stuff in it. No, I'm referring to the original Battlestar Galactica. And I bought the DVD box set with for that had the Cylon head. And inside that book, inside that DVD, has this particular collector's book. So I thought, okay, well, San Diego Comic-Con is going to be usually a place where a lot of these people are going to show up. In regards to, they're just going to be there. So why not bring this book, and then if I can see these guys, I'll go to their booth and I'll get them to sign something. Okay, so this year, 2004, there was a couple of Battlestar Galactica cast people. One of them is the Herbert Jefferson. Okay, he's the guy who plays the Lieutenant Boomer. All right, and so I got him to basically. I opened the book. Found him on the lineup, okay, and then basically got him to sign by his picture over here inside the book right over here, okay. And so so that was good, right? And then I kept looking around a little bit more, looking for other stars and that kind of stuff. And soon enough, I found out that Richard Hatch was also at this convention. In this case, he was promoting his new Battlestar Galactica book that he wrote. And so I went up to his table and basically asked him, okay, if I buy your book, will you sign it, and will you sign my my DVD booklet? And he goes, yeah, sure, no problem. And so I bought his book. He signed the inside of that book, and then basically he then opened up to his page for Apollo, and then again he signed this information right there. There we go. Okay. So two of the people are done. Of course, obviously, for all fans, I can't get Lauren Green to sign it, but obviously, there are other characters that that may appear in future Comic Cons, and then I'll be able to continue filling out some of the other people that show up in these things. Okay, so these conventions are definitely great things to go to, and definitely if you've never been to a convention of this sort of large, grand scale, it's definitely something to go to and something to spend several days to fully enjoy and take in all the different events that happen at the convention. Okay, I'm going to be making more episodes that are telling you convention stories and things that happen at these conventions, and just because I've gone to these conventions both as a regular convention goer, like a spectator. I've gone to these conventions and volunteered and got to see the workings of the convention from behind. I've gone to these conventions as a guest. So basically being able to, access a few different areas and basically be a presenter at these conventions. So, and of course, and then of course locally, I've helped organize conventions. So again, I'm going to have lots and lots of episodes and things having to do with conventions. So what you want to do is you want to go down there and hit subscribe, and you want to hit like, and then you'll get more stories and kind of funny sort of things that happened at these conventions. And again, these are stories that you're not gonna sort of get out of, let's say, for example, going to the San Diego Comic Con webpage or something, and then they're not gonna have lots of people posting up weird blog stories of what happened or whatever, or their bad experiences or good experiences for that matter, that happened at the convention. So really, this is the only place you're gonna get this kind of cool stories, right from the horse's mouth, as it were. Okay, so until next time, see you again.